Everybody, happy Friday, happy 100th day of the year. It is day 100, and according to 365 Tao by Deng Ming Tao, day 100's word of the day is imagination. So it's the 10th of April, to check the month there for a minute. It's Friday. How are you feeling? Did you check in with yourself this morning? Check in with yourself physically, check in with the environment around you, notice what's going on. It's kind of a grey and cloudy day again here in Bulgaria, so another great day to be inside and be in the studio. Hopefully you've got a beautiful day planned wherever you are in the world. So grab your books, open them up to page 100, grab your journal and something to write with, find a nice quiet and comfy place where you're not going to be disturbed for the next 15 minutes or so. Remember that this 15-minute practice that we're doing together every morning is just 1% of your day. So find that spot that's great for this 1%. Get comfy, cozy, present here and now, and remember that if you want to be present and be right here in this moment, the best way to do that is to connect with your breath. So take a nice deep breath in and a long exhale out. Open your book up to page 100 and let's start reading together on the subject of imagination. Imagination is pale and fragile. Dreams grip with a false reality. Imagination can build bridges. Dreams can deceive. When we dream, the experience is often deeply involving. Frightening dreams make us awake trembling and sweating. Pleasurable dreams leave us with lingering desires. Certain dreams are a form of healing, a way for our minds to recruit and adjust themselves. No matter what, these dreams have no objective reality in our waking world. Imagination is also a form of mental involvement. It is a way of projecting our thoughts into believable images to be contemplated and manipulated. That's pretty poignant for me as an artist because that's literally what I do. Imagination is a form of mental involvement. It is a way of projecting our thoughts into believable images to be contemplated and manipulated. Interesting. We can play with our imagination, use it to inspire creative projects. Both imagination and dreams are similar activities of the mind, and yet they differ in the level of conscious participation that they permit. In the case of the dream, there is a total suspension of rationality and consciousness, so there is little or no direction possible. There is no mode of control. By contrast, imagination is a tool through which we can make our lives better, different, and creative. So that's an important distinction there. When we're dreaming, we don't really have control over it, right? Things just kind of happen. They transpire in your dreams. But you do have control over your imagination. You have control over your thoughts. This is a really, really important thing to remember. And it says here, imagination is a tool through which we can make our lives better, different, and creative. So think about the power of your thoughts and the power of your imagination to make your life better, to make your life different, and to create something. This is really important stuff. By cooperating with it, we can achieve things that we never dreamed possible. I love this. So I love thinking about your imagination and your thoughts as a way to, as it says here, better, differentiate, and create your life. This is such an amazing thing to think about. You have the power to think about anything that you want. You have the power to make your life better through your thoughts, through your imagination. You have the power to create things that you want to create through the power of your imagination. So think about all the ways that you create throughout the day, and it doesn't just have to be picking up a paintbrush and painting something. I say this a lot. You create your day. Like, your life is your work of art because you're constantly creating it through your thoughts and your actions. You create your day. You create your breakfast. You create a cup of coffee. You create the outfit that you're wearing for the day. You create the interactions that you're having with your loved ones. You create the way you go to work. You create everything that you're doing. So think of yourself like an artist who's creating your life. And think about how your imagination can make your life better. Think about if there's something in your life that you'd like to change, you can do that. You can make a different change through your thoughts and your actions. Think about something that you'd like to create and go out and do it. So obviously we need to imagine, we need to create, we need to use our brain, but then we need to put it in action to actually make it happen. So today's passage is really awesome. I encourage you always to use your imagination. Think about things that you would like to make better in your life. Think about changes that you'd like to make. Think about creativity and just go out and do those things using your brain and then putting it into action. It's so important. So have a beautiful, beautiful day on this 100th day of the year. I wish you lots of imagination and lots of creativity today on this beautiful Friday. Thank you so much for being here for 100 days, and I will check in with you tomorrow. Bye. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy 9th of April. Happy day 99 of the year. So it's the 9th of April and the day 99. So we've got some nines going on if you're into numerology. I know in the tarot, the 9 is getting towards the end of a cycle. It's getting towards completion, and then we start again with 10 and back to 0. Because 1 and 0 is, the way numerology works. You always just go back to the 1 number. So lots of 9s, if that means anything for you this morning. How are you feeling today? How's the weather where you're at? How's your environment around you? Are you noticing and observing how that's affecting your mood, how you're feeling? Hopefully it's a beautiful day wherever you are. It's kind of sunny, kind of cloudy. Doesn't quite know what it wants to do here today in Bulgaria, but that's been good because I've been very productive in the studio today and took some of my art pieces outside and shot some photos in front of the brick wall that's in front of my studio. I've been super inspired obviously by the streets and just being here in my studio and just surrounded by a medieval castle. Like this was the medieval capital of Bulgaria. And then this was under Ottoman rule for a long time. It was also under communist rule. Like there's just been a lot of different layers of history in Bulgaria and this city especially. So there's just so much history. You can just feel that in the buildings. You can feel it in the texture that's on the streets. It's just everywhere. There's just layers and layers and layers of history. And that's really been inspiring me and been inspiring my art. So I felt inspired today to go outside and take some photos using my environment and kind of checking in with the environment because my art has been very much influenced by it. So it was kind of cool to take some photos of it, like take my pieces out of the studio and put them back into the streets, which is where they were originally inspired from. So that was a fun little exercise today. So hopefully you're feeling good on this beautiful Thursday. As I said, we're on day 99 of the year. Our word for today, according to 365 Tao by Deng Ming Tao, is homecoming. So yesterday on day 98, we said farewell. And today on day 99, we're coming home. So I love how this book just kind of has a cyclical, like obviously everything in life is a cycle, especially as it relates to the Tao. But we kind of follow patterns and follow cycles, and a lot of themes come up recurring. If you've been listening for the last couple of weeks, especially, like certain things will just keep coming up. Things will keep following through. Things will keep cycling through, and it's kind of what we spoke about just before. We went from day 99 saying farewell to 99 coming home. So the cycle is continuing. The motion keeps going. Life keeps moving forward. So find a nice, quiet and comfy place where you're not going to be disturbed for the next 15 minutes or so, remembering that 15 minutes is just 1% of your day. Get grounded, present, here and now. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. To be present, relax your system. Excuse me, grab your book. Grab your journal and something to write with, and let's start reading together on day 99 on the subject of homecoming. Where was Tao while I was gone? Wasn't I following it where I went? Do you think that there are two? After traveling a while, we come home to a familiar place, only we often look at it in a new light. Wow. That's really poignant for me, and if you travel as much as I do, I'm sure that resonates. After traveling a while, we come home to a familiar place, only we look at it in a new light. Were things different while we weren't here? We experienced so many new and different things while we were gone. Wasn't that Tao too? How can there be so many differences? You might argue that a mountain is a mountain, but our attitudes towards it are changeable. If we mistake our subjective viewpoints as something that is solid, permanent and never relative to circumstances, then we will have no end to our problems. However, if we are always remembering that everything is comparative, then we can move through life in a much more dynamic way. There are not two ways. There is only one. It is so vast that we can experience widely diverging aspects of it and imagine that we are in different realities. This is a misconception. We cannot outrun Tao, cannot be outside of it. It is only our viewpoints that change to the degree that we think we are in differing dimensions. In the river of Tao, we are like minnows that can never plumb the length and breadth of the water. So that is an interesting passage. I'm not sure if I completely understand the entire context of it. I might have to reread it again in my own time. But there's definitely a couple of sentences that are very, very poignant. I think it's important, as one of these last sentences here, it is our viewpoints that change to the degree that we think we are in differing dimensions. And that's something really important to remember just about the human condition in general. Every single person that you encounter is going to have a different viewpoint. Even if you're both looking at the same thing, you're going to interpret it differently based on your unique perspective. So that's something we always have to remember. Just because we look at something and it's black to us, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be black to the other person. And neither is right or wrong. It just is. The thing is what it is. It is objectively what it is. It's an object. But as humans, we place our subjectivity upon those objects based on our reality, based on our uniqueness. So that's something to always remember. It is what it is, but we see it through a certain lens, and then we give it a subject to the object. I don't know if I'm making sense by saying that. So that's something to think about. Everyone is operating on their own unique system of being a human, and that's going to be different to yours, different to somebody else's, and it doesn't make it right or wrong, it just makes it different. There's nothing wrong with differences. As it says here, how can there be so many differences? Because there are so many different people in life. That's just how it is. And something else that I really liked is that first sentence. If you're a traveler like I am, you come home to a familiar place, somewhere you've been perhaps for your whole life. Because of those experiences that you've had while you've been gone, you might see things differently. So that's something that definitely resonates with me right now. I've been traveling for just over 2 months. I haven't been in my home. I've been in lots of different places, different countries, having very different experiences. So it's going to be pretty interesting to go back home eventually. I don't even know when that's going to be right now. But when I do eventually go home, it will be interesting to walk through that door to a familiar place, a place that I've called home for 15 years. And it'll be interesting to see, does it feel different? Have things changed? Of course they've changed. I've changed. The house itself probably hasn't, but the way I interpret it, the way I see it is going to change because I'm constantly changing, and the way that I view things is constantly in motion, right? Like everything else. The house is the house, but I'm putting my unique perspective on it. So I think that's the takeaway from today's passage. Things are what they are, but as humans, we have our own unique way of interpreting them, and we're all different, and being different is just fine. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong, it's just different. So I wish you a beautiful, beautiful Thursday. Thank you so much for being here for 99 days already of this year, and I will check